Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier with a quick video collaboration between MonsterTech and Gamdias. MonsterTech makes premium gaming mounting solutions and Gamdias makes premium gaming peripherals. This video came about because of some feedback that I received on the original MonsterTech MTX review. I take your comments seriously, and the channel partners are always receptive to me testing new things for you. Please support them if you can because they make these videos possible. Let's begin with the backstory. A viewer mentioned in the comments of the first Simbase video overview that when he added a Simbase, wheel module, and a Sparco seat to the cart, the resulting order was beyond his budget. When I added those parts to the cart, I noticed that the chair was over 45% of the total cost, and the most expensive part. Most Simpit owners end up with some sort of actual motorsport seat because it seems to make sense. Some of the more popular ones are Momo, Sparco, Recaro, and others. Those seats are supposed to be comfortable, but they also need to support a human during high lateral force, turns, and bumps. Because they're intended for racing or street use, those seats also need to conform to crash standards for safety. This extra testing and certification process adds to the cost, which is obviously passed on to you, the customer. Gaming chairs, however, don't need this extra costly testing. It still needs to be comfortable, but it's a piece of furniture and not a piece of a car. So the idea was to find out if it was possible to substitute a racing chair for a great gaming chair and end up with a more affordable solution without a compromise. In the past, I have reviewed a really budget-friendly gaming chair from Amazon. The long term is that those chairs are still very good. I have no regrets, but there was an immediate noticeable difference when I opened up the box from Gamdias. The Achilles M1 is superior in build quality, choice of materials, and most notably, the detail. Like the other products I've reviewed, they start by making the part right and then they make it special. Their chair is fantastic, and I was excited to replace my cheap racing chair with this much more comfortable gaming chair. The main issue was the difference in mounting holes. An automotive chair sits on rails, with mounting points spread wide apart. A gaming chair sits on a piston which is centrally located. I did try moving the rails closer, but that ended up being very unstable. I decided to make an adapter. The outer measurements for the rails was 36 centimeters by 40 centimeters or 14 by 16 for those Americans out there. Armed with this information, I went to the local metal supplier, hoping to snag some offcuts. They recommended that anything bigger than 3/16 of an inch in steel would be overkill and aluminum would be 3 times the cost, so steel it was. I left the shop with $8 less in my pocket and what I needed to continue. We all know that steel rusts, so I also bought a can of primer. Using a straight edge, I marked the middle, and then I used the chair base to mark the location of the 4 holes. I drilled a pilot hole, then expanded the hole with a step drill so I could fit the original chair bolts. Once that was done, I placed the plate on the slider and marked the 4 next holes. I repeated the process and I now had 8 holes, so I test fit the plate. When I saw that everything lined up, I lightly sanded each side with some 220 grit and then I used alcohol and some paper towel to prepare the surface. I hit both sides with primer and then let it dry. So, was the test a success? The Gamdias Achilles A1 is one of the more comfortable gaming chairs I've ever sat in. Unlike my cheap car chair, it has an adjustable back, a lumbar pillow, and a neck pillow. And it looks awesome. Really awesome. This process proves that you can be economical without being cheap or compromising on your experience. I'd like to close out with a special thank you to Gamdias for supporting the channel, allowing me to make unique content that's hopefully interesting. The Achilles A1 is noticeably better than any of my standard gaming chairs, especially where it counts. For comfort, it outperforms any racing chair at half the price. Please check them out on Amazon, their stuff is the real deal. Please support the companies that support the channel by using the links in the description. If you'd like more specific information about the conversion in more detail, please message me. Thank you very much for spending your time with me, and if you got something out of the video, please share it with your friends. Drive saucy.